While producing our boat reviews, a consistent question came up. Since we've been reviewing Fountain Pajot boats, let's use their lineup as an example. The 40-foot boat is $9,625 per foot, the 50-foot boat $16,000 per foot, and the 67-foot boat $33,000 per foot. So what is it that drives this strange phenomena? Well, let's make some assumptions first. Let's look at some sailboat shapes. So your typical cruising hull or casual sailing hull is fairly elliptical. It's well-rounded. In the front it's a little more pointed than the back. The back is a little bit more broad, but in general it's kind of elliptical, and we're going to use that as an assumption going forward. But even if we look at a performance sailboat, the same basically holds true. It is a bit wider in the aft than in the front because it's a planing hull, but in general it's still somewhat elliptical overall. The catamaran's hulls are really no different. It's just a bit narrower, essentially half as narrow as an equivalent length monohull, except you have two of them. So the displacement is just divided into two halves, but they're still somewhat elliptical, just more elongated in profile than the monohull is. So for easier math, let's zoom in on that cruising hull and assume that it's somewhat elliptical in shape. Let's continue with the assumption that we're looking at a 40-foot versus a 42-foot boat. This grows a little bit in the length, a little bit in the width, and a little bit in the depth. We can assume elliptical math to figure out what the volume is for these, and therefore an approximation of the displacement. So if we compare the two, we can see that a 5% increase in length overall produces a whopping 25% increase in volume. Using the Fountain Pajot lineup, I've graphed out the changes in length overall versus the changes in displacement, and we can see a huge difference in the curves. The 50-foot boat is 25% longer, but a whopping 76% larger. The 58 is 45% longer, but over 2.5 times larger. Swapping length for displacement in our first metric, we can see that the same trend still exists, although it's not nearly as steep. So why is it that a boat gets so much more expensive when you increase in length? Well, there's a variety of reasons, but let's think about the interior and the volume. When you have more volume, what do you typically get in a sailboat? Well, you get more bedrooms, and more bedrooms means more beds. You also get more bathrooms typically. More bathrooms means more toilets, more sinks, more fixtures. More toilets, more sinks, and more fixtures means more pipes, more fittings, and so on and so forth. The other thing is that customers buying a boat that are in the 2 million, 2.5 million and more expect more from fit and finish than they expect from a boat that's only 1 million or less. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the subject, so please leave your comments in the sections below. And if you like what you saw and you want to stay up to date with our latest videos, hit like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you next time, probably with another boat review for the Fountain Pajot Elba 45.